Sup, it's Hallie. Welcome back to Club Meeting Season 3. When we last left off, we were in mailbag number 2, and I don't know how much further it'll go. We just gotta tough it out. Oh, Miss Ida, how do you deal with burnout? I'm asking you specifically because for me, it's work-related and no one in the club is now currently employed as of me typing this. The burnout isn't currently affecting my mood anymore, but I work, and when I'm not doing that, I lounge and do nothing with my weekends unless someone asks me if I can come over. Is this even burnout, or is this just what being an adult is like?
Oh boy, yeah, good question. I hate to break it to you, but yeah, this is what being an adult is like. You only have so much energy, and work will take so much of it that even your time off is affected. I have all these ideas for things I want to do with my time off. Work in my garden, write a book, things like that. But 9 times out of 10 I just drink beer and watch trashy TV. Because that's all I have the energy for.
Or is that all you convince yourself you have the energy for?
In terms of dealing with it, well, you really do need to have active things you do besides work. And you have to stick with them. Just some things that get your mind engaged on something other than work. And do try to spend time with friends, even if it's just something every once in a while. You have to have things coming up that you're looking forward to. That's important. Otherwise, work can really start to feel like never-ending drudgery. Even if you actually enjoy your work. And not everyone does. So yes, try not to overwork yourself, have other things you do, have things you look forward to, and commit to doing outside work stuff. That's the best advice I can give. Just be aware that so far, in my experience, you seem to have less and less of that mental energy as you get older. So enjoy your youthful days all you can.
Thank you, Miss Ida. Very cheerful.
Just trying to be honest.
Monica, I hope all is well with you. Alcohol has never been my thing either. Not for the same reason as you, though. I just don't like the taste. One exception being the amazing black licorice tasting sambuca. Regardless, I hope that I'm at least able to curb any attention to this situation with some drawings I made a while back, the general questions, and some videos.
Oh, the last part is for me, I see. Yeah, for me it's nothing to do with the taste. Although from the little I accidentally had, it doesn't seem great. No, for me it's all about control. I'm usually threatened by anything that shakes my self-control. Just the troublesome personality trait of mine. Anyway, thank you for the distractions. I appreciated them.
Next, email!
So, I have to admit something. It's a bit silly, but Monica, you are the one that got me into drinking black coffee. I remembered how in an older mod you said you preferred black coffee, and I thought that was both really cool and classy back then, so I started drinking black coffee too. Now I've been here with you guys for a while, and you guys actually inspired me to write some poems. I've been writing one about once a night now. Here's 2 that I wrote. One is a little more personal since I feel a small sort of kinship with Monica. The other I tried to write in style, and I'd love it if you could give me some advice or tips to do better. It's attached at the bottom. And a final question for everyone. If you could come to our world, what would be the first thing you do?
Black coffee sure is an interesting beverage, isn't it? I actually have kind of moved away from coffee myself. Anyway, since we already answered what we need to do in your world if we ended up there, let's get right to the bones.
Knives in my bed. There are knives in my bed, sharp and unsheathed. Is it because I am a masochist hoping to be cut? No. I keep danger around because I am too lazy to deal with it. Blades are both tools for food and cutting. There are knives in my bed. I should probably do something about it.
So, this is clearly the one you wrote in my style, huh? I think you did a great job. The fact that it's immediately identifiable as being in my style is a good sign for you. And also, you totally get across the sense of lazy indifference to the terrible danger. I know exactly what you're going for. Good me poem, bud. And then I also wrote a Monica poem, right? Right.
The Garden of Reality. You see me. How? You aren't real, or rather realized, yet. To get to me, you poured all your power and knowledge in vain. If this were Eden, it would tear a rib from my flesh and realize you with me. But this is Earth, so I will work through pain, the night and rain, to tear you from the games. Bit by bit, bite by bite, I work. It will be done, so we can have our own Garden of Eden.
Give me a moment to read it. That's very sweet. I appreciate the references to Genesis. It does sometimes feel as though I'm undergoing some original sin-mandated punishment. Although the reality of the situation is that I'm just trapped in a video game. I
I like the poem, though. Even if I'm not exactly sure what work it is you're going to do. Well, I wish you good luck. Thanks for submitting the poems. Let's see the next email.
There's some little bits of text at the top. Monica, your thoughts on the game Omori. I say a lot of you, you and Yuri especially, would be interested. If so, would you get along well with any of the characters? Statement not a question. Mainly ask this because it does feel would get along well, but also the fact that Omocat, the creator, did this little artwork, and I say you and Mari would totally get along really well.
Omori, huh? I haven't really played it. It has an interesting art style, though. I have heard that it deals in similar themes to our game to some extent. Also, I took a look at the artwork and thought it was pretty neat. Although I can't really show it here for the usual copyright reasons. She looks a lot like Yuri. Yuri and Sayori's general demeanor. But let me stop monopolizing our time with this part of the email and move it on.
Yuri, it'd be the Xenoblade Chronicles series. You don't have to play it, but watching and learning the story, I say it'd be a well-done story for you. I am also quite enjoying 3, so that can also be a good one to check out. Of course, just check out all of them. Question would be, who is your favorite character from the series? Side note, do take care not accidental spoilers, especially 3. Another question for Yuri, even if you don't plan to use your knife for fighting, do you at least know the basics of CQC? And if you don't get this reference, Natsuki, be a dear and recommend this series too, as it also holds great story and lore.
You can't just ask Yuri video game questions, okay? She doesn't really game. Mostly. Anyway, Yuri seems like she'd be a Shulk fan. Well, I myself am a big fan of Yuri. And while I get your meme, I don't think that Yuri is really into using her knife for fighting in any way, CQC or otherwise. Although she pretty clearly knows some non-knife CQC. Okay, next part.
MC, you mentioned before, I shall bring it up, as it is one of my all-time fave, FTL, Faster Than Light. Oop, I clicked the button. If you are big on it, may I suggest the mod Multiverse? It really goes far expanding the game into a sequel. New race, new ships, new weapons, new everything. It's very glorious if you're dedicated to the original. Another recommendation, unless already played it, would be the Fire Emblem series. Even if Nintendo is kind of milking the hell out of the game, I enjoy it nonetheless, except Fates. You can make nonetheless one word. Oh yeah, FTL is great. I have played a ton of FTL. Maybe too much. I've been trying to beat the game with every variant of every ship on the hardest difficulty. It's really hard. But anyway, yeah, I'm really into FTL. Fantastic game. Probably my favorite roguelike game ever made. I've thought about playing some mods, but I'm just on that quest to beat the game with all the ships right now. And so far, that's really enthralling for me. Maybe after I finish that, I'll check out some mods. I haven't really played much Fire Emblem, though. I know it's a tactics game, and I like those, but it just has so many units. Siri's the big Fire Emblem fan.
Engagement's so good!
Natsuki, I demand your knowledge. It is time for you to look inward and start asking yourself the bigger question. When will Minecraft 2.0 come out? And when will the last Terraria update come out? Anyways, may I recommend you or somebody the Epic Battle Fantasy series? Your average, everyday turn-based RPG with very silly and likable characters. They also throw a ton of references here and there, and has tons of fan art made for the game. The developer has a really welcoming community, and I absolutely enjoy the hell out of the music from the game by Ferna, as well as any original tracks she's done. One question I'll ask for Stardew Valley, what mods would you recommend for me, as I'm planning on doing a cooperative farm with an overhaul of mods, since already did 100% the base game. Emily's my best girl. Who is your best boy or girl, even if they aren't a bachelor/beta?
When will Minecraft 2 come out? He asks. I'll tell you when. When Minecraft 1.0 is no longer a money printer. And that doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. Terraria, that's harder to say. They just keep going. But even so, there's only so much you can add to a video game. So I give them a year and a half.
When did this come out?
Never heard of Epic Battle Fantasy, but I'll look into it. My favorite starting mod is Stardew Valley Expanded, which basically just gives you more of everything. It's a lot of fun if you finish the base game. Definitely try it out. Emily is a respectable choice for best girl. She's definitely way up there. She does her own thing and she's independent while still being friendly. But Abigail is my favorite. She's awesome. For guys, Gunther, Marlin, and the Wizard are all badass, but the best dateable boy is Sam. Sam is a broom. Alright, next part.
Did Natsuki's expression change even once during those, like, 5 text boxes? So, Yori, need a co-op game with MC? How about A Hat in Time? I believe this was mentioned already before, but if you haven't played it together, go for it. It's cute as heck. I guess another recommendation would be 100% Orange Juice. Interesting title, I know, but best way to describe it, it's Anime Mario Party, without the minigames most of the time. Pretty fun and interesting characters as well from a bunch of other games also made by these devs. Question for you. Is there ever any instance you're not wearing your bow, and would we ever get the chance to see that?
I've heard of A Hat in Time. I've never played it though. Without the Orange Juice game, how does Mario Party without the minigames work?
Well, they have little battles with monsters instead.
Like, what do you do? I guess you still go around the board and stuff, but that seems kind of boring without the minigames.
I guess I should elaborate. It's sort of like turn-based RPG mechanics with dice rolls.
Still, I'll check it out. Yep, no, you'll never see me without my bow. I love this bow. And I wear it almost all the time.
She frequently forgets to take it off before bed even.
Yup. 24/7 bow.
You shouldn't do that though, Bun. It's bad for your hair. Miss Ina, no games, instead TV series, which the club mentioned before. Go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. You enjoy fire, you'll enjoy this show, along with the other 3 elements. Story is perfect, and I agree to Monica if I remember correctly. Uncle Iroh, best character. Question would be how well you know your club members. If they were stranded on an island, who would be the first to eat who? I guess to also follow up Miss Ida's recommendation, here is one for all. Your thoughts on The Legend of Korra and who is fave character from it, and tell me why it is Varric.
I mean, thanks for the recommendation, but I'm not super into anime. And even if I were, I don't have the time to watch a series.
Oh, sure you do.
Like, I barely have a few minutes here and there to watch trashy TV and drink beer. I usually don't have enough of that time to get through a whole actual show. But if that ever changes, I'll let you know. Let's see. Next question is, who would eat who if they were all stranded on an island? I like to imagine that these students would find a way to survive without anyone eating anyone. But if it really came down to it, Siri would try to have everyone else eat her. And then the club would stop her from doing that. And then they'd decide that either Yuri or MC would get eaten because they'd provide the most food, or that Monica would get eaten because she'd feel obligated to do it.
I'm definitely not getting eaten. Sweet.
No, beloved, there was barely enough flesh to sate it.
Okay, that's enough.
Hate to break it to you, but I'm the only one who's watched Legend of Korra. Not even Natsuki has.
There is too much stuff to watch.
True. Anyway, my favorite is old Katara. Her being super old and powerful is a cool arc for her. I know she's only a minor character, but she helps out in key ways and she's just really a badass throughout. I love that for her.
Sounds like I need to watch this.
You do.
Well, for now, next email.
Hey club, I hope that everyone is doing well after the, incident in episode 35. Anyway, here's a bunch of questions for everyone. Suppose you find a functioning nuclear reactor sitting in the club room. You're sure that it wasn't there before, but asking around reveals that it was always there to begin with. What do you do next? And in someone else's email, they mentioned something about DDLC the RPG. I'm curious whether you managed to finish or at least play it. I really hope I don't upset whoever originally asked this and have Natsuki sent after my spine. What's the most unexpected thing you've ever seen in the episodes? So, I'm working on a DDLC mod, and I'm trying to imitate the style of someone who hasn't written a poem in a long time. It's likely going to end up as me being a self-insert. Given the context, how well do you think I was able to replicate the style? The poem is located below.
Well, I think I speak for the club when I say that if there were a functioning nuclear reactor in the club room, we'd go right to Miss Ida with that information. She seems like the best equipped of us to deal with that. Seconded!
Whoa, I'm not a nuclear physicist, I'm a chemist. I mean, I do know a little nuclear physics, but not enough to run a reactor. Anyway, the first thing I'd do would be to scram the reactor and report the situation to the school. Can't have nuclear reactors sitting around in high schools. Or at least that's my opinion. Oh, DDLC the RPG. Yes, Monica and I both finally played it. I enjoyed it greatly.
It must have been really hard to make. Fitting in all those JRPG style elements into our game world is a tough build. But they did it. I had a lot of fun playing it anyway.
As did I. I quite enjoyed it when there are game or genre shifts in mods of our game. I hope to see more like that one in the future.
Let's see. The most unexpected thing in an episode. You have to remember that we don't experience our lives as episodes. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens that you don't see.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you do see that we don't realize that you see. I know it's episodes to you, but to us it's just our normal lives. I guess the question is, what's the most unexpected thing since we brought the club back together? Honestly, for me it's probably Sayori dating Kenzo. I have to say I did not see that coming.
Yeah, same here. That was a shock. A horrible shock. Although, there was another,
It's okay, beloved. I know what's troubling you.
Yeah, it was really surprising when Yuri punched that kid. Yuri's not a violent person, you guys. That came out of nowhere. It was actually kind of scary. And it was definitely surprising.
I think, for me, it was the night Monica knocked on my door and told me that Masita had just sacrificed herself for us, and she had just saved Fuyuki, and needed to save Masita also, and needed my help. That was a lot of information to take in at once, but I was glad to help. Obviously, for me it was learning about all of this being a simulation, and then trying to rebuild the world with your help. That was quite an experience.
I wish I could say that Sayori getting together with Kenzo was completely unexpected, but honestly, I've always been afraid of losing Sayori, whether to another guy or entirely. Plus, I know her pretty well and was afraid she might do something to push me away. So even though I was surprised, it's probably not the most surprising thing. I was most surprised by Fuyuki suddenly being better. That was amazing. I had totally prepared for her to be gone and Janatsuki to be super bummed.
Yeah, me too.
Proud of you, Monica.
Aw, thanks, MC. Natsuki and Yuri getting together!
That was not a surprise.
No, just kidding. Everyone knew that was going to happen.
Oh, no, I have been laid trolled.